And meanwhile, we're going to have Ernie Chen, Asia's #1 business coach, to tell us his interpretation of Rakyat's wish list.
For Budget 2011. Hi, Ernie.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you back again. Yeah.
Yeah, good to see you.
First thing first is I would like to say the blanket idea of this whole entire budget moving forward from today onwards should always be focusing on reducing the cost of living and enhancing the standard of living. I think we need to have this in our mind as the Prime Minister is asking for the Rakyat to give him feedback. How can he go about help improve the Rakyat's life, right? So from a standpoint today, I'm coming here not just as a businessman, but really myself as a Rakyat, talking to a lot of Rakyat out there, the people in general. What does the people really want? Do they really want reduction of tax? Or what do they really want? I think the blanket idea is keep focus on reducing the cost of living and enhancing the standard of our living. That's going to be really, really important for all budgets moving forward, especially this coming budget, which is for 2011. So the three things that I think are no surprises, are also really not something that people have not been talking about. I think it's more important for me to make a point, a statement here that these are things that we need to really look into and work on if we want to make sure the Rakyat, the people of Malaysia, are going to start having a better life. So the first thing I really think is critical and is really important for the government to really look into as far as the budget is concerned is improving transportation.
Oh, heary, yes.
There you go.
Yes, very
If I mention this word, improving transportation, I'm sure a lot of the audience, TV viewers, audience back home will be starting to ask. Yeah, there you go. Yes, it's in every single plan from the national economic model of what government transformation to economic transformation programs. Everything has been talking a lot about the transportation. Every prime minister that I am aware of, every single minister of transportation has been on our KTM, has been on our LRTs, and has seen how bad the situation is. But till now, today itself, we have still not seen much improvement. And we have still not seen anything really done about it. Why? Because if you're going to build an MRT, we're going to know you're building an MRT. So that's not happening yet, and that's something that I feel the Prime Minister and also the whole entire Cabinet of Malaysia really need to focus on if they really want to make sure the Rakyat is happy with the decisions moving forward. So the Budget 2011 first wish list, make sure we improve on the transportation, because it's no longer about building nice airports for the world to come. We must take care of Malaysians, and how do we take care of Malaysia? Is to ensure that they're able to have good transportation. Good public transportation will help us get places, reduce cost of living, enhance our lifestyle. Imagine, I was just in Japan recently. From Kyoto to Osaka is a 1-hour journey, but it took me 15 minutes on the bullet train. So imagine what kind of lifestyle we can have if I was staying in Malacca and have a big garden, because land and property is a lot cheaper. And I take the train and I work in Kuala Lumpur. In less than 15 minutes, I get here. So that's some of the things that we need to look into. If not, the cost of prices of accommodation, housing is becoming more and more expensive in Kuala Lumpur itself.
That's true.
So these are some fundamentals that we need to look into. I think very critical that the Malaysians, the Rakyat, really want the government to work on the transportation. Improve, enhance public transportation. That's the first thing.
I think I'm hearing a lot of cheers outside now.
We're all looking at zero poverty, but we have still not achieved it. What can we do there? And they always
say, at the same time, people are also preaching about high income.
That's right. And we always say charity begins at home. So let's start. Let's start at home.
Yes, I think it's known that all corporate organizations, when you're listed, when you're a big organization, as part of corporate governance, you need to give back to charity. Today, we are talking about giving back to charity by what? With our efforts, with money? Are we doing enough? It's important. It doesn't matter how big your organization is. When I started my organization, we have got a program called Action 1 program. 1% of our total sales revenue goes back to charity. And it's very important for every organization to note that it doesn't matter how much you make. What you give back will at the end come back. So it's important for us to always remember, the more you give, the more will come back. and that it helps the whole entire cycle move.
But unfortunately, Ernie, the one thing that I noticed is, and I think a lot of people would agree, that the more you give, the more you get back, but the ones who have it to give do not give it.
Yes,
that's the sad part, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's always how it works, right?
Yeah.
And what these people do need to realize is that if you do really start giving back, and whether it's money, knowledge, your time, your effort, doesn't matter what it is, your skill sets, especially Malaysians all over the world, come back to Malaysia. We have this talent corporation that the government is trying to put in place. Please, Malaysians out there, get your family, relatives, members. I know there are a lot of opportunities abroad that you think is giving them an opportunity. If we Malaysians don't start to come back and help Malaysia become a better country, become a better place to work, live, and have fun with, it's not going to happen.
True.
So we got to start giving of ourselves. Whether you call it national service, whether you call it helping the country become better, we as Malaysians, doesn't matter where you are in America, UK, Australia, wherever, whichever part of the world you're in, we need to start giving back by starting to show our interest to help Malaysia become a better place.
Now, before Ernie dishes out the second and third wish, we have a caller, a few callers
I want to say this is the semangat berkobar-kobar.
Now, for the poor and the low-income group, you know, Jamil and Annie, now, it's hard to survive at the moment, you know, for the poor and low-income group, and the cost of living is escalating very fast. You know that? Now, how much is the poor and low-income group, the income they get for the family is miraculous. I mean, how to cope up with the rising cost of food, or the bills they have to settle, the essential things they have to consume. I mean, the basic living essentials. We cannot cope up, I mean, for the poor and low-income group. And I hope the government will go into it and help this poor and low-income group.
Now, the other thing is asking me what I want for this budget. Well, let me take my buku 35 out.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. Now, we all know the government overspends 28 billion every year. And for the last 10 years, it's amounting to about 280 billion. Now, let's square this debt off for the public. I want free road tax for 1 year.
Right.
Okay.
I want free toll for 1 year.
All right.
I want 1 year free tax.
Okay, very quickly, your second and third wish.
Second wish I think Rakyat really want is really improving on our education system.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Our Malaysian education system has been the debate almost every single day. You open the papers, you see this is not good enough, that's not good enough. Removing SPM, removing PMR, removing UPSR, revamping this,
Literally
revamping that.
removing everything.
Exactly. I mean, the wish list is really about making sure Malaysians are educated effectively.
That's right.
We know that there are 80% of the whole entire population in Malaysia who is of qualification of SPM. They're SPM leavers, 80%. If the government keep on focusing on reducing based on numbers only, that may not be the best idea. Why? You're just achieving figures by producing graduates with degrees, but they are not qualified. What do I mean by not qualified? When they come out, they can't speak English when they go for an interview. They can't do fundamental skills of what they are supposed to be trained in doing.
That's quantity, there's no quality.
That's quantity of reducing the number of SPM leavers. We are increasing the quality of numbers of our degree holders. But I can tell you honestly, we go down to the ground, we interview people. I run a recruitment agency. We talk to fresh graduates. To me, a degree holder in Malaysia today is no different from an SPM leaver.
That's true.
That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
And the fact is, if we don't do something about it by improving the quality of education, by making sure whoever is trained gets a job, a career, so that they can make a living, to help some of these people out there. If people are just graduating with paper qualifications and no skills base to get a job and to even do better in their businesses, they're not going to make it. So enhancing education is critical.
Okay,
And the
moving
final
on to
one.
the third
And the final one, which I think myself, my family, and yourself will be really focusing on, is called improving on public safety by reducing crime rate. I really hope for Malaysians to have a better, safer place to play, work, and live in.
That's true.
Because if you ask me, I go out to the streets, I am very concerned when I'm holding my handphone. One of my staff was at a mamak store at 5 o'clock in the morning waiting for an event going out. They were sitting right next to a table having their roti canai and teh tarik. After a couple of minutes later, the other table exited and went off. at 5 o'clock in the morning. They came back with a parang and demanded for their handphone.
Oh my God.
This is just in Damansara Perdana. We are not living in a very safe environment right now.
Yeah.
If you look into the papers, I'm sure we're increasing the number of police officers and people patrolling here and there. But it's not about just having them. It's about how effective these people are out there doing their job.
Okay. Well, there you go. Those are...